What if the man you saw every morning, your husband, your father, your friend, was a ghost, a complete phantom? What if his entire life, his prestigious career, his wealth, his very identity, was just an intricate fantasy, a flawless lie sustained for over 2 decades? This is the chilling true story of Jean-Claude Romand, a man who didn't just tell a few white lies. No, he constructed a completely separate reality for 22 years. To the world, he was a world-renowned doctor, a high-ranking scientist at the World Health Organization, the absolute pinnacle of success, until the moment that entire world threatened to shatter. The details of his deception are staggering, but the price he ultimately paid for his crippling fear of shame was an act of unimaginable horror. Jean-Claude Romand was born in 1954 in a small French town near the Swiss border. From a young age, he was blessed with a brilliant mind, but his sharpest talent wasn't academics, it was something far more sinister: pathological lying. In his childhood, he discovered that his mother responded more calmly to elaborate fabrications than to difficult truths, and so he learned to build a better reality, one where he was always perfect. By his teens, he was a master of the craft, weaving incredible stories of a wealthy background and academic superiority just to impress his friends. This relentless quest for admiration drove him to enroll in medical school in Lyon, the perfect stage for his grand performance, which was guided by a terrifying personal motto: perfection or nothing. But his performance was doomed from the start. In 1974, he failed his first semester final exams. For most, this would be a setback. For Romand, it was an existential crisis. Instead of facing the shame of telling his parents he wasn't their perfect son, he made a catastrophic decision. He just told them he passed. Secretly expelled yet outwardly successful, he decided to maintain the lie. For the next 12 years, he continued to attend medical school. Every single morning, he got in his car, drove to the campus, and sat in on lectures, absorbing all the medical knowledge his sharp mind could handle, all while meticulously pretending to be a model student. He never took another exam. He was a ghost haunting the lecture halls, hiding in the crowds, watching his peers graduate year after year, while he remained trapped in his own self-made prison. His life became a monument to these escalating lies. He'd spend summer breaks in cheap hotels nearby, claiming he was traveling to major international medical conferences. He even managed to marry Florence, a pharmacy student whom he convinced he was fighting a terminal illness, securing her sympathy and lifelong commitment. By 1993, they had 2 beautiful children, Caroline and Antoine. His role as the successful, brilliant doctor was complete. He would casually drop complex medical jargon into conversations with family and friends, explaining the intricate functions of the pancreas and kidneys, cementing their belief that he was a doctor of unmatched intellect. When a suspicious professor finally exposed his 12-year ghost attendance at the university, Romand was ready with his greatest lie yet. He announced he had graduated and claimed he'd been headhunted for a highly secretive critical research position at the World Health Organization in Geneva. It was conveniently located just minutes from his home, which perfectly explained why he was gone all day but home every night. He emphatically stressed that his work was so vital, so top secret, protecting humanity from global pandemics, that he could never, ever be contacted or visited at his office. He even gave his parents a framed photo of the WHO headquarters, pointing to a window he'd marked with a red X. "That's my office," he told them. For 10 more years, Romand flawlessly maintained this bizarre routine. He'd drive across the border to Switzerland each day, dressed in a sharp suit. He'd spend his entire day reading medical journals, WHO regulations, and global health news in airport cafes or Geneva's public parks. He'd use the public services of the WHO building, like the ATMs or the post office, even stealing official letterhead to forge documents. Then he'd return home and play the part of the exhausted world-saving scientist. But how did he fund this lavish lifestyle of a senior WHO doctor? He invented an exclusive investment opportunity through his Swiss connections, a secret bank account offering an impossible 30% return. He convinced his parents, his uncle, and his in-laws, who sold their home and pooled 900,000 francs. He even convinced his mistress. He took their life savings, promising to invest it, but he wasn't investing anything. He was just using their own principal to pay them fake profits each year, all while slowly bleeding them dry. He became their indispensable financial savior, built on a mountain of their own money. The deception went so far that he sold his sick uncle expensive, fake, secret WHO cancer medication, which were just common painkillers, warning him never to reveal the special treatment. By late 1992, the walls were closing in. Romand was on the brink of financial ruin. His biggest creditors, his father-in-law and his mistress, who had loaned him 900,000 francs, were demanding their money back. The facade was cracking. He didn't even have enough cash to pay the next round of fake profits. Then came the final devastating blow. His wife, Florence, was talking to a friend whose husband actually worked at the WHO. The friend mentioned an upcoming annual staff party, an event Romand had, of course, never mentioned. Florence grew suspicious. After weeks of pressing him for an explanation, she finally did the unthinkable. She called the WHO headquarters, demanding to speak to the super-secret Dr. Jean-Claude Romand. The operator's cold, professional reply confirmed her darkest fear. "Madam, we have no one here by that name." The 22-year deception was over. The choice was no longer between maintaining the lie or revealing the truth. In Romand's mind, the choice was between absolute shame or death. The man whose entire self-worth was built on admiration could not bear being exposed as a fraud, a failure. So he finalized a desperate, horrifying plan. He purchased a silencer, a stun wand, tear gas, and a .22 rifle, which he had gift-wrapped as a present for his father. On the morning of Saturday, January 9, 1993, Romand took a rolling pin from the kitchen and brutally bludgeoned his wife, Florence, to death as she slept. He then woke his two children, 7-year-old Caroline and 5-year-old Antoine. He fed them breakfast and watched cartoons with them. Afterwards, he led them to their room, one by one, kissed them good night, and executed them both with a single shot to the head. He then drove to his parents' house for lunch. There, in an ultimate act of betrayal, he shot and killed them both. His mother was the only one shot from the front, facing her son. He later drove to Paris and attempted to kill his mistress, but she managed to talk him out of it. Romand returned to his family home, where the bodies of his wife and children still lay. He set the house on fire and attempted to end his own life by taking a cocktail of expired medication. But Jean-Claude Romand survived. When the smoke cleared and the bodies were discovered, the seemingly perfect WHO doctor became the prime suspect. After a long denial, he broke down and confessed everything. He was a liar, an embezzler, and a cold, calculated murderer. The ultimate diagnosis was narcissistic personality disorder. His need to maintain an image of grandeur was so immense that when it was threatened, he chose to annihilate his entire world, killing everyone he loved, he claimed, to spare them the shame of his truth. Jean-Claude Romand was convicted of 5 murders and sentenced to life in prison. In 2019, after 26 years, he was granted conditional release to live out his days in a monastery. His terrifying true story is a haunting reminder of a life built on an elaborate lie and the catastrophic price paid when the fear of shame becomes more powerful than the sanctity of life itself. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as compelling as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the most fascinating and complex stories from around the world. We'll see you in the next video.